Hi there. For the people who don't know me yet, I am Ivy or Ivy Chan. I am sort of a VTuber, and I host 2 YouTube channels with mostly comedy content. To my friends here, no, I'm not back, I just never left. Today, I am reaching out to you with something very important and very personal. Perhaps the most important video I ever made. My creator Ned McCrant and I have a special place in our hearts for transgender women and transgender people in general. Because I had to explain it over and over again, I created this video on YouTube. It was called The Trans Problem. I am aware that this does not sound very positive, but it was meant as clickbait to also convince negative people to watch it. To my disappointment, it didn't get many views. But hey, now I can use it again, right? I will link that video in the end screen. Now we have reached the part to tell you what this is about. This is my brief statement. After this, I will go into further details in separate chapters addressing the possibilities and challenges. So grab a snack and something to drink, this will be a long one. I'm reaching out to you, the trans people, with something very serious. Something that could mean the difference between life and death for many. We've all seen since Trump came to power how the political climate in the United States has taken a horrifying turn, especially for transgender individuals. Trump always denied to know about policies like Project 2025. These aren't just words on paper, it's an extensive manifest filled with, mostly on fundamental religion-based threats, to the very existence of people who just want to live their lives authentically. Forced detransitions, denial of essential medical care like hormone therapy, denial of personal identity, and the sheer hostility that transgender people are written in detailed parts of this manifest. Let's face it, this is more than anyone should have to endure, and it's heartbreaking because I know so many of you are strong, loving, and resilient, but even the strongest among us can't survive in a system that's determined to erase your entire existence from the books. I want to help, we want to help. In my country, the Netherlands, in Europe, I want to explore the possibility to create a safe haven for transgender individuals fleeing this unimaginable cruelty. But to make that happen, my creator and me need to convince Dutch leaders that this is not just a political issue, it's a matter of survival. That's where you, the trans people, come in. I need your written stories. Tell me about your life, your experiences, your fears, everything that makes this fight personal. Showing these stories can help us. Show our government what's truly at stake. Your voice matters. Every single story could be the one that makes someone here stand up and say, "This is wrong. We must help." Send your stories to the link or email below. Together we can create a message that's impossible to ignore. You are not alone, and there are people who care deeply about you. Let us help you find safety, dignity, and the freedom to be who you truly are. Thank you, and please stay safe. Now comes the part about the different possibilities to move to the Netherlands. For Americans who want to move to the Netherlands, there's actually a really easy way to do it. It's called the Dutch-American Friendship Treaty, in short, DAFT. Basically, it lets any US citizen get a residence permit as long as they start their own business here. And the best part? It's way easier than trying to get a work visa or asylum. Here's how it works. 1. You enter the Netherlands without a visa. Americans can stay for 90 days visa-free. 2. You register a business, even a simple one-person business, like self-employed without employees. ZZP, as the Dutch call it, is enough. 3. You open a business bank account and put at least 4,500 euros in it. This proves you're serious. 4. You apply for the DAFT residence permit at the immigration office called the IND. While waiting for approval, you can stay and work in the Netherlands. Once approved, you get a 2-year residence permit, which is easy to renew, perhaps it goes automatically, I don't know. And after 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency. No Dutch language tests, no work restrictions, and no complicated paperwork. And you can do any kind of business, freelance writing, graphic design, consulting, whatever. A lot of Americans use this to move here permanently. It's honestly one of the easiest ways for an American to live in the Netherlands long term. The only catch is you do need to run a small business, but it doesn't have to be anything big. just enough to prove you're actually doing something, and to show that I don't judge nor give a damn about what you do. This also works if you do OnlyFans.com for a living. Like I said, this is the simplest way. However, there is another way, and that is to apply for political asylum. So, if an American wants to seek asylum in the Netherlands because of discrimination or persecution for being LGBTQ+, it's technically possible, but really difficult. The problem is that the US is considered a safe country, so the Dutch government usually assumes you can find protection there. But what if you are from the USA? How it works: 1. You apply for asylum as soon as you arrive in the Netherlands, either at Schiphol Airport or at an asylum center. 2. You have to prove that being LGBTQ+ puts you in real danger back home. This means evidence of threats or violence like police reports, messages, testimonies. Proof that US laws or authorities won't protect you. Medical or psychological reports if you've suffered serious trauma. 3. The Dutch Immigration Service, the IND, will investigate your case, but because the US is considered a safe country, they will usually reject it quickly unless you have overwhelming proof. 4. If your request is denied, you can appeal the decision, but it's an uphill battle. There are LGBTQ+ organizations in the Netherlands that help with asylum cases, like COC Nederland and Transgender Network Nederland. But unless someone has very strong evidence, this is one of the hardest ways for an American to move here. All comes together in this: proof that US laws or authorities can't and won't protect you because the government itself is the problem. It is an uphill struggle. I have written members of the Dutch Parliament, and their inaptness really infuriates me. They somehow think that Trump is a legit, elected, respected president. When I try to explain that his policies are most against the US Constitution, I get answers like they consider me a conspiracy theorist. The Dutch media hardly pay any attention to this. Yes, all about tariffs and shit, because that is about fucking money. I need to convince politicians and media that, and I say it again, the US government is the problem, and people will be persecuted because of their sexual identity. Politicians here have never heard of Project 2025 and its content, and probably think I made it up. Really, this rejection totally drives me up the wall. That political asylum is very difficult. Does not say that it should be excluded. It will be very hard, but not impossible to break open this asylum option. Politicians are always too busy to read emails or letters, so we need to show them what is going on from our point of view. No diplomatic sugarcoating. We need recorded testimonies, voices of real humans, video interviews with frightened transgender people. We can arrange that online, in a safe video call environment. It can be done anonymous, and we can change voices, and compile that to deliver a powerful message to the Dutch government. There are only 2 letters that need to be changed in the asylum regulations. 2 letters that change USA from safe to unsafe for transgender refugees to return to. I repeat. To convince my government to change these 2 letters in the asylum regulations, we need voices on video to shove under their noses, accompanied with news articles. Written testimonies might even be ignored, because this is not about the economy and fucking money. If you are willing to contribute, I have the means and sources to put this in an eye-opening documentary. I will end with mentioning the website of transworldexpress.org. This is also a good place where you can find valuable suggestions and advice. All the links and contact details are in the description box under the video. I hope to see you in part 2. I want to call on viewers in all European countries to write to their representatives in their governments and convince them of the seriousness of this matter. They simply must not ignore this. Only if many emails or letters about this issue are received is there a chance that we will be taken seriously.
Veut appeler les spectateurs de tous les pays d'Europe à écrire à leurs représentants gouvernementaux et à les convaincre de la gravité de cette situation. Ils ne doivent tout simplement pas ignorer cela. Ce n'est que si de nombreux courriels ou lettres à ce sujet sont envoyés que nous avons une chance d'être pris au sérieux.
Quiero llamar a los espectadores de todos los países de Europa a escribir a sus representantes en sus gobiernos y convencerlos de lo grave que es esto. Simplemente no deben ignorarlo. Solo si se reciben muchos correos electrónicos o cartas sobre este tema, habrá una posibilidad de que nos tomen en serio. Möchte Zuschauer in allen Ländern Europas aufrufen, ihre Volksvertreter in ihren Regierungen anzuschreiben und sie von der Ernsthaftigkeit dieser Angelegenheit zu überzeugen. Sie dürfen das einfach nicht ignorieren. Nur wenn viele E-Mails oder Briefe zu diesem Thema eingehen, gibt es eine Chance, dass wir ernst genommen werden. Ik wil kijkers in alle landen in Europa oproepen om de volksvertegenwoordigers van hun regeringen te schrijven en hen te overtuigen van de ernst van deze zaak. Ze mogen dit gewoon niet negeren, alleen als vele mails of brieven hierover binnenkomen is er een kans dat we serieus worden genomen.